Okay, I'm Dan Barringer. Born in Rochester, New York. Came to Ohio via Bowling Green State University in 1962. And I grew up in Rochester. I had two brothers, one that was 4 years older than me, and the other one was 9 years older than me. My parents were of the Depression era, so we did not have a car. So I walked a lot of places and bum rides with a lot of my friends growing up in that. I played high school baseball and football in Rochester at Franklin High School. I'm very proud of that school. A very large school, huge school.
Huge school.
Over 3,500 people in this school. Our graduating class had 700.
Wow.
And but what was great about it was the melding pot of the city. And what did Franklin High School do for you to prepare you for your job? And my job that I wound up in the Cleveland schools was 46 years in an integrated setting. Good memory of high school.
Yeah.
City championship football team.
And what position did you play?
I played center, believe it or not, at 165 pounds.
You probably still play center today.
Sure could.
So you went to, oh, go ahead.
So then I left Rochester. I had a general education teacher, a social studies teacher that took an interest in me because he knew I didn't have the background with my parents as far as going on and furthering my education. And he was the one that, and I strongly believe that this gave me an incentive to go into education too, not even knowing it at the time. But he was one that gave me that type of impetus, you know.
Do you remember his name?
Mr. Du Bois.
No, it wasn't.
Yes, J. Ernest Du Bois.
You're kidding.
D-U-B-O-I-S. Familiar, huh? Well, he took me under his wing, and he was the one that set me up. I applied for Bowling Green, 368 miles away from Rochester, New York, and went on a Greyhound bus to Bowling Green. Right. In fact, my parents never saw the campus until my graduation. Then I joined a fraternity, ATOs, Alpha Tau Omega. And while I was at BG, one of the fraternity brothers was a Canadian who played hockey. So he and I started the hockey program at Bowling Green. And I was like the general manager of the club, and went from there to being NCAA champs.
Are you listed somewhere in that BG Hall of Fame as the originator of it all?
Yep. In fact, I've got something I could show you over there.
That's awesome.
Yeah. I learned to listen rather than hear. Too often we hear people, but we don't listen to them. And I've listened to students and I've listened to my colleagues.
Any big obstacles or roadblocks you guys had to kind of fight through?
I had an obstacle of a boss who I felt was biased and very difficult to work with, and some days I just didn't want to go into work. But then when I talked to the teachers out there and the coaches out there, and I could use the term trenches, but that's where they were. They were the ones working with the kids, and that kept me going.
That's what got you through it.
Yep. One brother was huge, and my dad took him by the shirt and took him up against the wall and says, "You will never ever talk to your mom like that again." But he was gentle while doing that. And then speaking about gentle, that's my mom. Everybody loved her. She didn't have an enemy. And not that you need to have enemies to keep you balanced and so forth, but I say that with so much love that I miss him like crazy.
Yeah.
But my dad was really good with that as far as how to treat, and he taught me that work is not a 4-letter word.